Hey, good morning, Wolfpack. Nothing like a little Titanic to get us in the mood, eh? That's not really a good omen, isn't it? But good morning, everybody. Good to see Crystal, Sean, Alexis here live today. Sorry, I was just running in from outside. It was a little chilly out there. So actually doing a profile on a young man who's rebuilding an engine to a vehicle car. We have a new spotlight called the Spotlight, PBL Spotlight. So Mitchell, it's a pretty cool project. He's doing it for his art appreciation class. He is rebuilding. It's a form of art, a project. So I just came back from outside to record that. So pretty cool. You know, we talk about individual project plans, what he's developing. And like you too, we've been talking about that. But anyway, I want to welcome all of you who are either watching us live. Crystal, good morning. Sean and Alexis, welcome. Good to have you here with us today. And I want to jump right into what I talked about yesterday. I know David, I just got off the phone was working with David a little bit, and he'll be joining us here just real quickly. But Crystal, Sean, are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better.
Feeling a lot better?
Off my meds now, too.
Good, man. Good to see you out and about and alive and well. But I also want to talk about how do we, and when I talk about Crystal, Sean, and David, and Alexis, actually, ironically, all four of you here today live, I would like to challenge you to basically do an NWA today from home. So at the conclusion of today's piece, I'd like you to stay on the line if you would and let me know the time frame, and I'd like to administer that. We need to get some data points this time, and you four are probably our most, how should I say this? I put you in a category, your face-to-face day is more or less virtually at this present time. So we're trying to connect and get down to Oceana County, Crystal. Looks like I'm kind of shooting to do that next week. Sound good? Okay. All right. Good show. And David, I'll be calling Dad, and we'll get out to the house today. So I'm looking forward to that. Hey, yesterday, wow, I had a chance to look through this last night. We talked about the future of work. We looked at a video clip that showed how technology is now really transforming workplace. I mean, look at us here today. If this is considered my work, I'm communicating with you via some technologies that were unheard of 5 years ago. So how that future of work is really impacting our lives, many of you commented a little bit about going too fast, or, Jake, what do you think Jake said here? How long would it be before they start doing everything? Are any of you concerned about that? Skyla, good morning. Good to see you with us today.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Does anybody else feel the same way? Like when will that, why replace people with technology, Skyla asked yesterday. That's a great question. What behaviors might it make possible in the future? I mean, look how even, whether we want to admit it or not, how is the cell phone dictating our behaviors today? Yeah, huge, isn't it? So how does that impact human behavior? Kiara mentioned yesterday. Wow. Anybody want to share any other thoughts that maybe we didn't mention your example, or something you may have seen up there on the screen?
I thought one positive thing would be for like my dad doing like hardscapes and like patios and walls and all that. He could use a machine instead of wearing out our bodies in that.
I read that. Did you guys hear that with David? I didn't get a chuckle at it because it's hard work. I thought of Dr. Umaran's project, right, David?
Yeah, we were done by the end of it. We were tired.
Yeah, you were tired. I mean, you were working late. And for those who don't know, David's dad does some amazing work, and that project is evident of the work that David's father and David, you were involved with that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you see firsthand. I mean, that back-breaking manual work is hard on the body, right?
Yeah.
And so, well, and I'm glad you mentioned that, and there's a lot of truth to your reflection, David, your wonderings, because, I mean, look how we have simplified or streamlined is probably a better word, the whole industry of farming. Really the whole farming industry, how it's changed and even how it's going to change more. I mean, I went into a farmer south of Scottville here called Lumberg Farms, and he was the first farmer in the area to have this automation milking. Now he has well over 600. He did at the time 600 cattle. Now, how do you milk 600 cattle 3 times a day? Right? I mean, you think about that. 600 cattle 3 times a day. You can't hire enough people to do it manually, or even if you had machines to clean the udders, put the machines on the udder, and go through 600 cattle. You're talking almost a ratio of 1 for 10. And we don't. You can't hire 90 to 100 people to do that. You can't afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that something? So automation and what the movie video we saw yesterday, these cattle or milkers would come in this turntable. It's like a what's the word I'm looking for? I just lost the word. A carousel, more or less, and that it would move slowly, and the two milkers would stand here, and one was washing, preparing, the other one was milking, and then going down the line, taking them off, and they could get through 600 cattle so fast that way because they would just put one milker on. They had about 10 of them going at a time. So automation has made our work easier. David, let's find some technology that will make your father's work, right?
For real, yeah.
That's a good point. A lot of you were talking, I think it's worth mentioning, and also I want to mention the importance of, for you, and do this now if you want, because I see that there are a few of you. Let's see, we've got Crystal has it open and somebody else. Immediately, if you want to hit the share button right here in the upper right-hand corner, share that with me. That counts as 1 literacy piece. And right now I'm looking at 10 literacy pieces will make a huge difference in your module. So we'll talk more what that looks like. For example, it could be the difference of 1/3 less of the module in your English class. So, wow. So if you want to share this out, any type you're doing, reading, writing, listening, speaking, that's huge. So open this document, click share, type in PQ, my email should pop up, share it with me, and 10 of those will equal about 1/4 or 1/3 off of your module or any project you're working on. I know Kiara Golnick is working on a different kind of English project. This is also going to fit beautifully into her. So what wonderings or questions do you have about that? Anybody? All right, and I know it's hard if you're watching this recording because I do have, yesterday, 3 people watched the recorded version and 2 of them submitted. So it's cool to see a lot of you are looking at ones because you want to be compliant throughout the course of the week. It's awesome. So send me an email on it, all right? Hey, I want to real quickly jump right into this, all right? And this is another second piece of literacy. Actually, this one, there's not so much. I don't think I have the form up. Nope. But I think it's worth a reflection piece. One of you, and you're not here live with me today, one of you said a lot of the work we do online sometimes is pulling like a sled up a hill. And that's that grind. And that pulling is the daily grind of, yes, the module, but we want more of an experience in our virtual. So that's why we turn these webinars into credit possibilities, all right? Awesome. So why, I guess the whole idea is that with that being said, that daily grind, and I thought of that word, the daily grind, this young lady said, and I thought of this video, this powerful piece that I had planned to show today anyway. And here's a great question I want to throw at you. And it's actually, you're going to see the question before you see the video. What would compel an Olympic athlete or a G2S student, okay, just replace your name with that. What would compel an Olympic athlete to finish a race even though the chance of winning is past? Like I had a student say, well, why should I even come here to a webinar? I don't want to do that. What does that have to do with me passing school? That's a great question. I think by the time we're done with the conversation, they truly saw the value in that. So what would compel an Olympic athlete to finish the race? What would compel you to keep the daily grind? Why would you keep showing up when you don't see results on that day, or you keep pushing the grind What keeps pushing you? So that question of mine, I want you to take a look at this and tell me your thoughts. Cool story. True story.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence till you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Wow, every time I watch that piece, I just, like, I don't know, it hits so many areas of reminders that I have about don't give up or things that maybe happen in my life. Because as Mr. Banchler says every day, or not quite often, he says, if you have a pulse, you have issues. I don't care who you are. And we're all human. We all strive to be the best we can be. And things don't always go the way we want, whether it's in school, whether it's in what you train for, whether you keep showing up and doing the grind. And it's actually an opportunity I want to say, I'm real proud of all of you. You know, it's in some cases, this is a wonderful fit for you to continue to do things you want, and you're still doing the best you can do, and you show up all the time. That's not easy. So I admire that, because every single one of us that I look who's here live today really fits that bill of the grind and pressing on regardless of your situation, and regardless of how you're feeling about it and how you're responding to that. I just want to let you know, hey, man, I'm thinking about that, and I think that's what makes you guys pretty special. So thank you. You know, it got me thinking too about, I had, and I'm not even going to pull it up, I'll just wrap up here about what are some of the challenges you're having. You don't even have to share those openly in a virtual setting, but think about those challenges and where are your supports and where do you need to reach out and get support? You know, and that's why, you know, yes, I say I like to make it a notation every time I leave. I like to say, hey, have a great day and stay connected. So who are you connecting with? Who's sharper than you? Who's helping you across the finish line? Lean on them. They're there to help you out. And whether it's a virtual piece at school or whether it's a personal piece in your life that maybe you got to show a little bit more gratitude to say, hey, I thank you and I need some help. So anyway, with that being said, hey, reach out to me today. I kind of have a clean slate. I do need to, Skyla, I want to talk to you a little bit after our webinar today.
All right.
Yep, and I am going to make some visits, going to get out and see David a little bit. And Crystal, we'll have some answers for you here by the end of the day, okay? And so anyway, want to continue to support all of you. And I know we have about 35 students who are virtual. That's awesome. But with that, you know, the intentionality of creating a two-way communication is vital and important. So make sure you reach out and see what I can do to help you. What final thoughts may you have or wonderings? Anyone?
Hey, Mr. Quinlan.
Yes, Sean.
Are you doing the Baldwin meeting today?
No Baldwin meeting today, thank you. I needed to have, there was you, and I got two of you. So thank you for asking me that. And I really need to have a third one, but if I don't, doesn't mean we can't do it. But that didn't pull off. Go ahead, Sean, what's that?
Do you just want me to come in tomorrow?
Let's talk today. Stay on the line, we'll chat, okay?
Okay.
All right. And before we sign off today, I also want to say what we'll probably do. I know I was talking to Crystal, Sean, Alexis with the NWEA. We're going to probably wait and do that when you're face to face. I do need to wrap that up by the end of next week. We do.
Right.
So when you guys come in, that's when we'll do it. I know Sean has been trying to do that at home. And Crystal, we'll do that when we connect here next week. We'll go over a game plan because everybody is different. So I'm trying to customize kind of a plan for each of you differently, okay? So Sean, yes, my desire is to get a face-to-face meeting here real soon with our Oceana and Lake County folks to stay here from you. So I pushed that out to you. I didn't get a full commitment yet, but I need to have a certain number of people showing up, okay?
Okay.
All right, but we'll keep pressing on. Stay on afterwards we'll have an individual conversation and maybe even plan a connection. I do need to talk to Skyla too at the end of this. But hey, folks, good seeing you all here today. I did take attendance, so who's here? Appreciate that. Also, let's keep in mind the 444 Wendy's. It's not just the 444 Wendy's as it is setting some goals. We are 2 weeks away from wrapping up the first marketing period. How are you doing? Okay, so stay connected and look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. All right, take care.